Hi all, I'm Mike Trebesco from EO Studios, and today I wanted to talk about how to achieve a live feel in your recordings. Now, I believe personally, just from my personal experience, that the last 5 years in the metal music have been really eye-opening in terms of productions, and more musicians and people are getting that alive feeling with longer takes, more musical feel, and just more organic feel for the sound and for the performances. For instance, last album from Meshuggah and last album from Gojira definitely contain that sort of atmosphere, and today I wanted to talk more about how to achieve that in your recordings. And really, it's a pretty simple concept, however, it's a little hard to execute sometimes. Especially because we're also used to an opportunity to change things up after recording process, and with the advance of modern digital audio workstations, with a possibility to edit things up and perform reamping and change the sounds later on, it becomes more challenging to actually use the more old school approach, like a more natural feel of those recordings I've mentioned before. But for instance, in order to achieve a live feel for your recording, you just have to play it with the live feel and play longer takes, play it more naturally, and just stick to that kind of approach. For instance, instead of tracking guitar riffs for each section in a little fragments, like some of us do, and then really cleaning them up and making sure that everything is super clean and surgical, one just plays the whole section through if the material allows. And maybe you play for a couple of takes and then just combine and comp up the best fragments for each take, and then achieve best of both worlds. Still a live feel and lots of intricacies and maybe little inconsistencies that make up for the human feeling, but you may clean that up just by comping up the takes. Similarly with drums, I could even recommend you to track the whole section or whole song a couple of times, pick up the best bits of the takes, and then just edit them by hand rather than try to automatically align the drums to the grid. And if you do so, the feeling for your drums will be much more natural because the human ear has captured it, human player has played the drums, and then human has edited the drums in order to match the feel to the other instruments as well. Another idea is to track some of the instruments together. This can be the case of playing the drums and the bass and then editing them together, which can be a bit of a painful process, but really rewarding in terms of that live feel that you get in the end. Sometimes you may even record the whole band playing together and edit them together as well. And you may capture the room, the ambience of the performance, and that will also create a lot of live feel for your recording. So a lot of ideas here, but just in general, if you keep up to the feeling of live recording and feeling that your audience gets on your live gigs, and then you try to record it more or less the same way in your recording studio, that will lead to a more lively feel for your productions and overall more natural feeling if that's something that you're after. You may absolutely be not, and that's fine, but if that's something that you desire, here are the ways to do it. Guys and girls, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'm more than happy to get in touch with you and answer them. Cheers.